In Smith Lake, New Mexico, I'm Rosalinda Roman, and this is the New Mexicast. Welcome back to New Mexicast, everyone. I'm Rosalinda Roman. It is late in the day, but I'm happy to report that my daughters are in bed. Doesn't mean they're actually sleeping, but at least it's quiet enough for me to introduce you to the next edition of New Mexicast. Now, part of the reason why I have to steal a minute here and there to do my work is probably obvious to those of you that listen to the audio edition that I occasionally post here on New Mexicast, and that is that we split our time between our home here in Harris, New Mexico, and my husband's work, which is 2.5 hours away, in Gallup, New Mexico. Not a lot of spare time. So usually when I make that trip, which is every other week, I pack up the kids, the dog, and hit the road on I-40 without giving a lot of thought to what there is along the way. Usually I'm just trying to get from point A to point B in one piece. But one time I did stop at a tiny community along the way called Smith Lake. It's on the Navajo Reservation, and while I was there, I learned quite a bit about what can happen when a community comes together. This episode is brought to you by Boot Camp and Beyond, where behavioral medicine specialist and life coach Dr. Mark Arcuri joins forces with fitness expert and personal trainer Joseph Garcia to create the most unique fitness program I've ever seen. In the time it takes you to watch 6 reality show reruns, they'll help you transform your body, mind, and soul to start really living. If you're in New Mexico, you can sign up right now for an upcoming boot camp. If you're not, they can actually bring the boot camp to you. Just visit bootcampandbeyond.org to start your own transformation today. As you drive along I-40, about 60 miles east of Gallup, New Mexico, you can't miss the mesas that rise up before you, and can't help but feel the freedom of these wide open spaces. But as scenic as they may be, these vast distances can cause real challenges for people that live here, especially in remote areas of the Navajo Reservation, a fact that worries community leaders like Cecil Lewis.
A lot of our people rely on the Navajo Nation, at probably, I would say about 90%.
In the Navajo community of Smith Lake, the elementary school building has long stood as a monument to the challenges they face. Closed in 2003 because of low enrollment, it has since been vandalized and set on fire.
Do something with it, or else it's just going to be demolished, or it's just going to deteriorate and it goes to nothing.
For Smith Lake Chapter President Bobby Willie, the building is more than just an eyesore. It's a reminder of the exodus of some of the Navajo Nation's finest.
A lot of the young people are leaving the reservation because of employment. No employment around here, and as you notice that Gallup, Grants, and Farmington's are far away. Then the cost of gas right now is going up, so to go over there at the minimum wage is just paying for the gas and nothing bring back to put it on the table for their families. So a lot of them is just leaving to the border town, live out there, which is leaving the elderly out here to leave their families, and it's creating a hardship on a lot of people.
But as a 12-year Army veteran who returned to the reservation to make a difference, Willie is not giving up without a fight. After previous attempts to renovate the elementary school building failed, community leaders put out a call for help. Across the country, Barbara Weaver answered that call.
Well, you see, I'm doing this highly technical job here, and my job is to make sure that there's a clean break between this floor and these walls.
By gathering more than a dozen volunteers at her church in West Virginia.
When I started putting this mission team together, I'm a little bit of a marketeer. That isn't my vocation, but anything that I get involved in, I really have to market. And every time I would I would think about how I could market this mission trip to my church. The Lord made it very clear to me that He would pick who He wanted to come on this trip, and He picked an amazing group.
Kathy Jackson was among those chosen. Since this was her first mission trip, she wasn't sure what to expect.
My first impression was, really, at first, we were all women, and we're all middle-aged women. So I'm thinking, what are a bunch of women going to be able to do?
Once they got to the elementary school building, she quickly realized there was a lot they could do. You're getting a workout.
A little bit, yeah.
Starting with scrubbing, sweeping, and patching. Are you skilled with spackle?
No, I'm actually a school teacher.
Did you ever think you'd be doing this?
Not in my wildest dreams, but I'm having a blast. It's been a real positive experience.
Teresa Adams also came to New Mexico from West Virginia, hoping to make a difference.
There were several fires set in the building, so I left black streaks all down the walls, and it was pretty messy. But hopefully, with everyone's work put together, we'll be able to get it all turned around.
But the work isn't all about rebuilding. Some of the younger volunteers prefer the process of tearing down to make way for something new.
We're demolishing a wall.
And what is this going to be, do you know?
No, we're just demolishing it.
For volunteers like Lynette McCall, that's the beauty of a mission trip like this.
I know a lot of people think, well, I could never be a missionary and go on the mission field. This is it. I mean, anybody can be used. All you have to do is be willing to work. And I think people look at it in a very different scope, that they have to have specialized talents, and you don't. You don't have to be specialized at all. Just come and roll paint.
But it's not just outsiders that are working hard to make changes here. The project is spearheaded by Cornerstone Ministries, which operates from within the Navajo Nation. Cornerstone CEO Pete Ballone sees this burned-out building as a source of hope for his people.
I guess they've been praying for something like this to happen. And this is going to be a big blessing to the communities around and who we can reach out to help. And we're also talking to some of the food banks where they can start shipping their food here, and then we can distribute it to the whole Navajo Nation, different areas.
As for how the community itself feels about the renovation, Cecil Lewis believes they are cautiously optimistic.
The people, I'm sure, are waiting for this to see what happened to this place or how it's going to be really affecting them, because they have been uplifted many times, Now it's like, that boy that cries wolf, So when this happens, when it's beginning to operate and they see the result, then they'll believe.
Despite past disappointments, he says many are hopeful here because it clearly is happening.
Trying to give it a new life, a new look, so then that way the community can come together as one and use it.
With each stroke of the paintbrush, each swing of the sledgehammer, and each scrub of the sponge, the failures of the past are being replaced with hope and renewal, thanks to the kindness of strangers and a lot of elbow grease.
This door was black, but it all came off. Great way to work out their frustrations.
In Smith Lake, New Mexico, for New Mexicast, I'm Rosalinda Roman. Bobby Willie thinks that this project is just the tip of the iceberg. He believes that once the community sees all the progress being done at the elementary school building, they will also get on board with other projects to help with jobs and roads and other important resources to the area. Now, if you want to find out more about this project, you can always visit newmexicast.com. And while you're there, you might want to get subscribed for free to our email subscriber list or through iTunes. We are also on Twitter, that is twitter.com/NewMexicast, and we are also on Facebook. And there are plenty of wonderful stories coming up in the coming months, so be sure to check back here in a few weeks. Oh, and don't forget to stick around till the very end, because every episode has bloopers and outtakes at the end. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Rosalinda Roman.
Like a dream I had.
New Mexicast's theme song is New Mexico by Dorian Spencer. Additional support for New Mexicast provided by the very savvy technical help of my favorite web development consultant, Adam W. Warner. Find him at learnwebtools.com. I'm Rosalinda Roman, and this is New Mexicast. And this is what I'm really wearing. Shorts, tennis shoes. I know, very professional. Little by little. I have to get a picture for your mother.
Close and hush your sighs. You know Daddy loves you.
Are you singing to him, Papa?
No, Daddy loves you. Yeah. No, Daddy loves you, precious baby.
That was great, Ahava.
Thank you, sweetie.
What?
We're singing.
Why didn't they go to sleep and hush their sighs?